They were the characters that you grew to love, and while they may have been fictional, a local author decided that they deserved an obituary too. Joining me this morning is the author of Mr. Ed Dead and other obituaries of the most famous people who never lived, Barry Nelson. First of all, you know what's funny? When you flip through the obituaries in the paper, everybody seems to die in alphabetical order. Have you ever noticed that?
That's an odd fact.
Very strange. Yes, I hope they're not up to H for Hopkins. In any case, we're really having a laugh on this this morning. We surmised, Justin White, who is the floor director, and I thought, you know, it was probably like a couple of guys who were thinking about their old favorite TV shows and came up with one obituary which led to the next and the next and the next.
Yeah, and you know something, what happened is that Tom and I reached that certain age when you look at the newspapers and after you look at the front page, you start looking at the obituaries next. You're not at that age yet, so don't worry.
All right.
Then
sort of a morbid fascination.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yeah, then you start to see that people have real stories and interesting stories, whether you knew them or not. Mm-hmm. And you know, with fictional characters, we know all of these people, right? So,
and you think of them like they're your friends.
They're your friends. Yeah. So Betty Crocker dies at 88, rich but no longer moist. There's an example.
Here's Marty McFly. How did he pass away?
Oh, Marty. Well, he died in the odd circumstance because he's a time traveler.
Right.
You can see that he died in a time before he was actually born, or about just before he was born.
Sadly, melanoma has claimed the copper-toned girl.
Yeah, she was 45. Her skin was 90. Not a good scene.
What about Lucy?
Well, Lucy had a visit in her psychiatrist's office. She grew up and she was still charging a nickel for people to...
you can never make ends meet like that.
No, you can't. No, she was very... But she had a visit from somebody, we don't know who it is, but she was found sort of bludgeoned to death with an old football.
That's too bad.
Right, yeah.
And they never were able to solve the crime?
No, the security camera caught somebody in a shirt with a funny little stripe on it, but they're not really sure.
Now, you're from Foxborough, but the person who wrote this with you, Tom, he's actually in New York, so you had a really interesting way of writing this book.
That's right. We had to do it completely what they call today on the cloud, which is Google Docs. So everything that we have right now, 600 actually obituaries out there on the cloud, 200 of which are in the book. And then we put on our headsets and we talked via Skype, so we were able to do it hands-free. And in the entire time that Tom and I were writing and really finishing and editing the book, we saw each other once in person.
That is incredible. Well, and a real testament to technology, I suppose, even as all of these people are passing away. I have to say, we were flipping through this morning. Really a lot of fun to just pick up, flip through, have a laugh, and pass it on to someone who you think might appreciate it as well.
Yeah, I mean, there are characters in here that people know and can and some will know most of the characters and others will know others. So you have Jed Clampett, for instance. You know, he discovered oil by shooting around into the dirt. Well, unfortunately, one day he found a little pocket of natural gas.
Oh, boy.
That did not work out for him. Yes, that's right.
Thank you so much for being here this morning, and it really is a fun read. Mr. Ed Dead is available now. Michelle, time to turn it over to you for a check of the weather this morning. How are we looking for today?